With me, I have Mr. Seedy Ceesay. Seedy is the Administrative Secretary of the National People's Party, NPP. Mr. Ceesay, we got a story that was reported on the newspaper, Voice newspaper, that NPP, the president, is working on his succession plan, and he has chosen Mr. Mohammed Jah, a businessman, to lead the party into the 2026 presidential election. Is this true?
No, it's total false. It is false.
Really?
Yes, it is false. As far as NPP is concerned, President Barrow is our candidate for 2026. Of course, any leader must have a succession plan. And President Barrow often said that he wants to hand over to an MPP. As far as I'm aware, Mr. Jah has never applied for MPP membership, and he is not an MPP member.
I mean, that was going to be my question. Is Mr. Mohammed Jah in any way affiliated with the NPP?
No, Mohammed Jah is nowhere affiliated with NPP. He's a Gambian like any other Gambian. He's a businessman like any other businessman. Of course, businessmen or business people will have interest to support any government, their development plan. And we know Mohammed Jah is on record for supporting the development plan of this government, and in fact, even the previous government.
But is he supporting the government or NPP as a political party?
I mean, he's supporting the government. I mean, he's part of those Gambians who are creating jobs for Gambians. Q Group will be considered, if not the most, but possibly the most Gambian company that has employed so many Gambians and being a heavy taxpayer. So in that way, he's contributing his quota to national development.
The reason I asked
taxes are those that developed, the country.
The reason I asked this is because Mohammed Jah, Q Group also entails a media house, QTV and Q Radio, and
yes.
He's also the owner of a media house. So if he is directly linked to the NPP, wouldn't that be seen as some form of bias? You yourself, you used to work at QTV and you ended up being the NPP candidate. Would this tell us that there's the link between QTV and NPP?
No, not at all. I mean, QTV is a media entity. Q Group is a business entity. Mohammed Jah is a Gambian. He can choose to support any political party of his choice. Of course, you said I was associated with QTV. I was hosting a program there, or a couple of programs. Today, I'm hosting a program with GRTS. So it doesn't necessarily mean my association with Q Group or QTV has any way or any shape or form to do with NPP. I'm a Gambian. I can choose any party to support or any candidate to support.
Well, I think the reason is I understand you're a Gambian, you can support any political party, but if you are also in the media, in the business of giving credible news, you don't think you'll be biased if you are the administrative secretary of NPP and working at the national broadcaster. Are you not directly influencing information to incline towards your party?
I'm not actually working for the national broadcaster, being GRTS. I host a show that in literally we call Jar Jar, in the sense that I talk to people. I can bring Fatura in and talk to you to tell us your background, your journey, how do you, from where you started to where you are with Kerfatu, the success of Fatu, the success of Kerfatu. So this is what it's about, because for me, philosophically, I believe we should not wait till somebody is dead and we start celebrating them. Let's celebrate the success of those who have made success in this country and outside this country. And that's what I'm doing at GRTS, is in no shape or form interfering with the editorial or have anything to do with GRTS editorial. I have a seat and a camera in front of me that airs a program called Jar Jar or called Kacha, and we talk to Gambians who have contributed immensely to inspire the young ones. That's what I'm doing.
Are you trying to use my platform to promote your show? You're taking the opportunity to promote your show on my platform. Okay, I'll send my bill later on. I'll send my bill to you later. But back to NPP. So you're definitely saying this is false, that Mohammed Jah is not, Barrow is not. So you meant to tell me in 2026 we will not sit here and have a Mohammed Jah candidate for NPP. Can you confidently say that?
I can confidently tell you that we are not going to have a Mohammed Jah candidate, but President Adama Barrow candidate that have been declared a fortnight ago when he said he's going to have a rematch with his godfather, lawyer Ousainou Darboe.
And you guys...
As we speak right now, NPP is working tirelessly to come up with the biggest campaign materials, with the biggest campaign slogans for the Gambian people. Be confident and trust that the Gambian people had in NPP in 2021 to rebuff that again.
But Seedy, but what has the NPP government done for us Gambian people to say, yes, we should re-elect President Barrow in 2026? What have you done in the past 3.5 years?
When you started your media house down the road from the Battery Hayden Highway, I guess you struggled to go to your media house. Today, in 5 minutes, you can tell a guest, I will be there, because you have a super road, a super dual carriageway to your workplace, a lot more. That alone was my vote for President Barrow.
What about some of us who say the cost of living is expensive? Rice, oil, everything is expensive. As we speak, construction materials like basalt by the end of this month will not be coming into the country. Everything is expensive, but yet government spending has gone up. President Barrow right now is in Saudi with I don't know how much delegation on taxpayer money. So these are the things that are concerning for Gambia. NAWEC is not doing well. We don't have electricity as promised by the president when he took over in 2016. Now you're going back to the same electorate. What are you going to tell them with all these things, especially the cost of living?
Let's look at this. You talked about the high price of commodities and goods.
Yeah.
I'm a local person. I'm a consumer myself.
Just like me.
If I go and buy a loaf of bread for $7 and $10, but we will buy a loaf of bread for the same price. So
yes.
It pinches my pocket like it does with you.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing what fundamentally we need to understand. President Barrow came into office and suddenly we have the COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
We have the global recession. We have the Ukraine war. A lot of other global things got involved. And that plays a part as far as the global trade is concerned. And what President Barrow and his government understands is we cannot be dependent on importation of our basic commodities. That's why of late, President Barrow has taken upon himself to inspire young people, Gambian people, to get their hand into industrialized Gambia,
mm-hmm.
where we have farms
mm-hmm.
that are created
mm-hmm.
to produce rice, chicken, egg, and you name them,
mm-hmm.
onions. These are things that have never happened here. We have seen the unfortunate failure of Jahali Pachar in the First Republic, in the Second Republic. And here you have a president who is passionate about supporting young Gambians, young Gambian entrepreneurs to bring our own produce in the markets. And this is where we are driving at. And two, you talk about electricity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as we have seen the GEC debt, we have seen the MSG, we have seen NAWEC. We have seen what is actually happening.
But nothing is changing, Seedy. But we are still we are still in the same place, Seedy. We are still going. NAWEC is.
Not in the same place.
President Barrow told us when President Barrow came. No, we are still in the same place.
Yeah, we are not in the same place.
Of course we are.
What needs to be done? No, just bear with me. What needs to be done is to understand the arithmetic that are taking place when Sadauda, when Yaya Jammeh was dealing with electricity. One thing that President Barrow and his government understand is to work on the infrastructure of our energy supply. Because at the time, when the arithmetic has been done, when the then thinkers were doing their thinking of how do we get electricity and the supply of electricity, it was very primitive. They never sit back and think, you know what, from 2024, we have over 2 million people living in this country. So the infrastructure was very poor. So right now, the demand of electricity is high. What President Barrow and his government is doing is to build an infrastructure that will sustain the demand of electricity. And these are not done overnight.
But 7 years, but 7 years, Seedy. 7 years.
You had 40 odd years, nothing is done. And here is a leadership, here is a presidency, here is a government that is putting high tensions in the history of this Gambia of 180. The biggest high tensions that we have in this country to the date that my father was working at GEC was 90,000. President Barrow is the only president, the only government, NPP, have now built the infrastructure of this country to supply electricity for high tensions of 180 universal across the world. So we are doing something. But again, the saying goes, Konkoto, Nika Bulo Kuaka Hani, even Balkan Domorola.
Nin Kurango Mansoto, Niaje Konkoto be Kumbola. Kurango Mansoto, President Barrow Kabran Nata, Ako capacity be Mule Fodo be Mabori, Molko wo capacity lay.
What you talk about capacity?
Yeah.
And again, the Gambian people understand. Today, the Gambian people are enjoying the freedom to work in any institution without harassment, without intimidation, without fear.
Seedy, I'm not talking about...
And that is basically happening.
But President, look, Seedy, this is my biggest thing with you guys. President Barrow did not give us that. The Gambian people fought for that.
No. I did not say President Barrow give us that. It is a collective thing. That's what President Barrow said. He's the chief executive of this government. He's the chief servant. He's the chief watchman. We entrusted him that job. And he's delivering in that job. I'm telling you, go and talk to anybody who understands electricity and the infrastructure of electricity. We had zero. And President Barrow today is building the infrastructure. And once those infrastructures are in place, you know, the issue of electricity will be history. And you talk about Basel, for example. Okay, Senegal, their rationale is that they need it. Today, you know, we have seen in Gambia, when we have our fertilizer, we say, we don't want our fertilizers across border because we need it for our farmers. If Senegal turned around and said, Basel, for example, they want to do their work, come on. Senegal is not the only place for Basel. Mauritania has Basel quarries. Guinea-Bissau has Basel quarries. Kevat has Basel quarries. So we are going to source some of those things, not only Senegal. Senegal is sourcing things from Gambia. They are sourcing things from elsewhere. So people must understand that we live in a global village. I give an example.
It's going to be more expensive if it is coming from other countries. It's going to be more expensive if it is coming from other countries. Because of our proximity with Senegal is a lot cheaper, it's going to be more expensive if it is coming from other countries.
If I get a ship of Basel from Kevat, it's cheaper in this country than in Senegal.
Well,
Just yesterday, I was doing the arithmetic to understand if I get a shipload of Basel to come to Saro or to come to Banjul, I can sell, for example, a trip of Basel nothing more than $66,000. And the
timeline for it to be here? Can we provide for the demand that is needed in the market?
Of course. The demand will be met. The demand will be met. Because in Bissau here, it's just around the corner. Mauritania is here. Kevat is here. Sea transport is cheaper than the road transport. Wow. So I see no reason why anyone in Gambia should be in fear that because we are not getting Basel from Senegal, so our old construction going to go stand still. No, it's not going to happen. Well, we are a responsible government, and we are responsible for the day-to-day affairs of this country, and we think, you know, and have empathy for the Gambian people. And I think that needs to be very clear. And Gambians need to believe that President Barrow and his government have a foresight and have the interests of this country.
To those who said the government spends taxpayer money on necessary travels, today the president is in Saudi with people who are not part of government, political operators. Why do we have political operators in? No, let me finish. Let me finish this question. No, let me finish. Let me finish. Why do we have the president carrying people that are not in government, taking them to Saudi, and obviously going with them to the United States for the UN when they are not part of government? That is not a way to save.
Fatu, when President Barrow went to China Africa Summit, he used a commercial flight. I did not hear any of you media houses you know, tell
Well,
the Gambian people.
We should.
No, just let me,
We are happy that he uses that. That's not anything we should celebrate, because the country is going through stuff.
Let me answer your question. When President Barrow went to China, he used a commercial flight.
Okay.
Because he believed that, you know, for him, whatever he's doing, he thinks about the livelihood of the Gambian people. President Barrow, as we speak right now, is invited by the Saudi government with a special flight on no cost to us. So that needs to, we need to understand that. It's a jest of the royal family, it's a jest of the Saudi government, it's a jest of the Saudi fund, and again, the chairman of the OIC. So come on.
But, okay, he is the guest of the Saudi government. He was invited as the president of the republic, not as the NPP party leader. Why do we have political operatives in that trip? This is an official trip. It's not a political trip.
Political operatives. You know, sometimes I think we confuse certain things. For example, I may be, or I happen to be, I'm a state secretary of the National People's Party, but I might double up as a special advisor to the
No, the people, the people that I see on that trip, they are not advisors. I have seen people in that trip who are not advisors. They are nothing, but they are just NPP executives.
I am really believe
that I can tell you. No, I can tell you that. I can tell you that Maimuna Balde, the MPP Women Mobilizer, is not an advisor to the president. So she is on that trip. And she is not just the only one. I'm just saying, I'm sorry for mentioning her name, but I'm giving you examples. She is not. She is not.
Say for certain. Let me answer you. You cannot say for certain. Maimuna is not an advisor.
No, she's not.
The president.
See, we have not been informed at any time that she is.
Okay.
We have never been informed as a country.
The president has the powers to appoint people as advisors, not even paid advisors, honorary advisors.
Well, she has never been. We have never been informed that she's either an honorary or a paid.
Maybe what do you need to do? What do you need to
no,
do?
Seedy, I look. I do my research, and that is one thing I know. I don't speak on things that I don't know. Maimuna, out of respect for her, I have so much respect for her. But the truth is, she is the women mobilizer for NPP. She is not any time a presidential advisor. She has never been.
So are you telling me Maimuna is not official advisor, no, a non-official advisor? Are you saying that for certain?
I can tell you, we have never been informed by the office of the president. Let me finish. There has never been any official documentation as to her role as a presidential advisor, whether official or non-official. We have never had that, never seen it.
I think I would advise you as a journalist.
Don't advise me. I know what I'm telling you. I know my job. Uncle Seedy. See?
Let's have this conversation.
You know what?
You
should. I think you should.
To further make an inquiry, because as National Women Mobilizer of the National People's Party, I see no reason why Maimuna cannot double up as special advisor to the president on women affairs.
I don't have a problem with that, but I have not seen that.
I'm telling you,
I have no problem with that. But
Maimuna advised the president on women issues and women affairs.
Is it official? Is it official?
What I'm saying is, I said to you that whether it's official or not official, she has the capacity to advise the president.
I do not doubt her capacity. I have a lot of respect for Maimuna. I do not doubt her capacity. But what I'm saying, there's no official role for her as an advisor, and that we should have that. That as a presidential advisor, no, she doesn't have that role, and I think that is one thing we should have on record.
How many people do we have who are advisors to the president, and they are not on salary? There are quite few of them.
Obviously, there are people, but we are also made known about that. We are made known about that.
You have been made known.
That has been officially announced. Yes.
I think now that you have interest in this subject, we will make it known to you and to the general public.
That will be amazing. That way we could respect that.
We'll make it known to you, to the general public.
That will be amazing. That will be amazing. I think you should come on the show because we have so much to discuss. You should come on the show.
Anytime you need me, I'm available. We can even make an appointment right now.
Thursday. Because Thursday 5:30.
Okay, then I'll have my chair with you, then I'll come.
Yes.
I have to have my chair with you on Thursday.
Okay, I'll see you on Thursday, inshallah.
Okay, see you on Thursday.
Thank you so much, Uncle Seedy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.